So first of all, thank you very much for the invitation to the CyberPort team. I really appreciate it, being able to present our proposition here today with you and your members. My name is Jonas Block, and I'm the head of product management at IPwe. IPwe is working with CyberPort to improve CyberPort's members' innovation profiles. Now, what does that mean? We'd like to refer to innovation as a new asset class. So digital transformation is harnessing technology to change the way we do business. The pace of innovation today is faster than at any point in human history, with innovation representing annual spending of $2 trillion globally. Now, while innovation and digital transformation peaks, we are failing to capture the value of innovation. So many of our brightest, high potential innovators with tech startups are struggling to survive. And as a matter of fact, 3 out of 4 startups fail. So more than ever, we must establish the right environment and incentives for innovators to make sure that we yield the benefits that innovation brings to society. We see innovation as a positive force for change. Now, who are we? We are IPwe. And oh, sorry, let me just go back to this one. We are IPwe. And IPwe is a decentralized innovation platform. We have tools, we have developed tools that reduce the complexities that make innovation hard. So in total, we have spent approximately $50 million US dollars developing AI and blockchain over the past years. And we use Hyperledger and Casper to build the first innovation transaction platform. Through our tech-enabled platform, we empower organizations to drive their innovation home, giving a voice and a role to everyone in the innovation process. So we are streamlining innovation. How are we doing it? Our mission is to make innovating easy, both to the benefit of the innovator, of the innovator's enterprise, and to society. And how are we doing it? So in the first step, we are making it easier to communicate and understand value that is locked up in IP. It's a fact that businesses make up 90% of businesses' balance sheet is taken by intangible assets in terms of their value. And that value is rarely tapped into, put to use. So in the second step, when we make it easier to communicate that value that's locked up in IP, we are putting the IP to use in an easy and in an appealing way. So for this purpose, what we have done is we have introduced the patent NFTs into the process. They will ultimately mature into innovation NFTs, because innovation is more than just patents. It's patents and enabling documentation surrounding patents. And through this technological vehicle, we make utilizing and transacting in innovation more cost efficient. So speaking about cost efficiency, what's the current process as of today? Today's process is very manual and requires attorneys, like I used to be one, contracts, a lot of paperwork. I mean, this is great if you are the lawyer, but it's prohibitive in terms of costs if you are the innovator. It means that you have to spend a lot of money upfront to even start to yield your return on invest for your innovations and trying to utilize your innovations. And by using NFTs, the entire model gets simplified, because what we do with it is we store all relevant information in one location, and that allows us to automate processes around the utilization and disclosure of innovation, which basically drives disclosure and transaction costs down massively. Now, one of the new use cases that we have technologically enabled at IPwe is we have used the technology to create a global and inclusive innovation network. So one flagship use case is our smart pools. So the IPwe smart pools, for the smart pools, we focus on technology areas that are very early in the adoption cycle. So including a couple of the ones that we think are highly relevant to you as CyberPort members. For example, blockchain and the metaverse smart pools. So blockchain and metaverse technology. The problem that we're solving with this new approach is that emerging technologies are representing a huge potential to the global economy and society. But as a matter of fact, they're grossly underestimated and not utilized. So companies that are poorly positioned vis-a-vis innovation and do not quickly respond to innovation changes and disruption, they are just headed towards decline. So the key question that we had to think about for quite a while is, why are companies that have the potential to disrupt left behind? And we came up with two reasons as to why this is happening. Firstly, is either they don't have the resources to innovate in the first place, or secondly, is because they have difficulties to communicate the value of the innovations. Both is very unfortunate because a lot of good and disruptive potential is not put to use. So we were thinking about, how can we solve this? How can we make this more inclusive? How can we make sure that these dormant innovation potentials are activated? We want to make innovation more tangible and available to everyone. So the way forward was we have democratized patents by allowing tech leaders, which we refer to as founders, as you can see on the left of this slide here, to share them with other businesses, the members, who will make use of them, and which leads to what we hope will be a global increase in innovation. This way, the members of the pool obtain freedom to innovate in a network of technology savvy and strong early adopters. So it's basically like a club of disruptive companies that start the innovation process together by contributing patents and accessing innovation. Now, working with CyberPort, IPwe is able to offer CyberPort members access to innovation in specifically the blockchain space and the metaverse space that you can then build on and utilize. These innovations that you will receive access to are from some of the leading companies in the space, and that with us share the desire to see all of you grow and encourage blockchain and metaverse adoption. So we're all on the same mission. We're all heading for the same goals. Why not share resources? Smart pools are about the opportunity expanding for the entire ecosystem. So while patents typically are there to defend market shares, we are using them to make the pie bigger for everyone with the smart pools system. So as you can see down here, we have launched 3 pools recently. So our latest smart pools are on digital link technology, which is barcode technology. It's a very interesting use case. The metaverse, which is expected to become a $1 trillion market by 2028 by financial analysts, and blockchain, which is expected to boost the global GDP by 1.76 trillion by 2030. There are more interesting pools coming up. We have quantum computing, mobility, V2E, ESG, and there's also other very interesting campaigns like cybersecurity that we are currently preparing to launch. quick introduction into our blockchain smart pool. So our blockchain smart pool is huge. You will be getting access to 1,000 blockchain, more than 1,000 blockchain patents from leading innovators in the space. And in blockchain specifically, it's expensive to develop, buy, or license all the technology that you might need when building out a fintech solution that's powered by blockchain. So we are working with some of the biggest companies in the space in the world to bring CyberPort members a better way to promote innovation and let you build and develop your company without additional expenses and without giving up any rights to your innovation assets. The good point, and we have mentioned this here, is that CyberPort SMEs with an annual revenue under 1 million can join the blockchain pool completely free of charge. And if the aggregate annual revenue is below 10 million, it's only $500 to join our blockchain smart pool. So what do you get? You get access to the technology of leading companies in the blockchain space. The second smart pool that we want to introduce to you today is the Metaverse smart pool. So Mark Zuckerberg announced the launch of Facebook's Metaverse in October, and he's just one out of many. So there's actually a lot of companies that are deploying solutions in this direction. It's an intersection of technologies. There's a lot of music in that space. So Metaverse technology is expected to become a $1 trillion market by 2028. We have launched a Metaverse smart pool that already contains 66 relevant patents. Again, it is free to join for CyberPort SMEs with an annual revenue under $1 million and only $500 if you are below 10 million. Now, what do you get? And this is one of the core questions, is what do you get if you join the smart pool program that we have in place? So every business, independent of its size, first of all, can participate as a member in our smart pools. This is like a game changer in the space, because typically with traditional patent pools or innovation pools, you will not get access because if you're too small to be cared about. So typically what they do is they wait until they have an indication as to who is becoming the most important adopter in a specific space. And then a traditional patent pool would reach out to you and ask you for money. We have flipped this whole process around, and we start early, as I mentioned in the technology maturity process. So you get an immediate license to all of the top blockchain related patents contributed by the leaders in the space that we have signed up as founders for our smart pools. Now, generally, a member pays the membership fee based on the revenue tier. As I refer to, this is free below 1 million and only $500 below 10 million. And that's it. Once this is done, you get a license to all of these patents that are contributed and all of the patents that are added over the time of the license. So, as I mentioned earlier, technology innovation is frequently unavailable to smaller companies due to budget constraint and the competition that large companies represent. So what we want to do is we want to give smaller companies the chance to pursue innovation efforts. And how we do it is we understand that because of the budget constraints, you need to grow with the technology, you need to grow with the innovation potential and with your market. And it can be prohibitive if access to intellectual property licenses or innovation licenses, as we like to refer to them, are too expensive. That is why we have convinced the founders, and needless to say is that the founders understand this and support this, that small companies need to be in the pool for free. And as they grow, the license tier, the revenue tiers can change. So I have added QR code links on each of the pages where you can directly go to a quick sign up, because next question is, do you need lawyers to sign up to our smart pools? No. If you are below the 10 million in revenues, just scan the QR code and you'll be directed to a sign up form on our website in Chinese, of course. And there's no ties whatsoever. If you think that the innovation, the freedom to innovate that we provide you is not a fit for your company, you are free to leave at any time. There's no ties and there's no negative impact on your business. On the flip side is, if you have access to this, if you are licensed, if you're IP compliant, you can show your investors, for example, that you're doing everything possible to become an established company in the space, also when it comes to IP compliance, and that you are de-risking when it comes to access to innovation. That is basically what I wanted to introduce to you in terms of the concept. I would love to engage in a discussion with you. I assume there are questions. Feel free to check out our website. It's available completely in Chinese, so you don't have to run into any translation issues potentially. And I would like to conclude with a statement by Steve Jobs, which is, innovation is the only way to win, and we will help you win. Thank you very much. Are there any questions or thoughts that you would like to share and discuss? Thank you very much. I see there's a question in the Q&A. There is a digital link platform. What is it? Can we join? Yes. So digital link, it's actually not a platform. The digital link smart pool that we're referring to here is about barcode technology. It's going to replace the standard barcode in the IoT space specifically, and it's going to change a lot of how we deal with products and how consumers receive information about products, because the digital link standard is more than just barcode technology. I will share some more information when we share the pitch deck that I have just presented to all of you, and you will get some more information about the digital link smart pool, but you can join this digital link smart pool completely for free. The same terms apply. You just have to add it on the form. All right, there's another question. If our company already owns some patents, can I be a contributor, and why should I do so? Thank you very much for this question. Yes, every company is free to contribute. And why should you do so? Basically, everyone can join. We are inclusive in the ecosystem. If you own patents in one of those technology areas, you can join. You can basically sign up. There's a separate form on the website if you want to join our smart pools as founders. The patents need to be relevant in the space, so either blockchain, metaverse, or digital link technology, and you will be added. Now, why should you do so? I was referring to how we change the way we approach innovation. And first of all, is you can collect your share of the membership fees that are paid for access to the pool. So there's a monetary benefit without any additional ties. There's no exclusive relationship established between IPwe and the founding members. If you own patents, you are free to license them on your own, and you are free to continue. bilateral licensing if you are up for that. But the core proposition that the smart pools have for patent owners is that you are added to our network of contributors. So you are seen as a person, as a company that is opening its technology. You are not trying to exclude others from participating, and because of that, you will see that adoption is going to be fueled. So it's additional revenues for you as an owner, and leading the space and enabling the technology adoption across the globe. I saw there was one hand raised, and there's one additional question. Maybe we do the question first, is can we purchase insurance to protect our patents? Absolutely. So we are working on insurance product in addition to this to protect your patents from multiple perspectives. And please do subscribe to our newsletter on the website if you want to be up to date on any latest developments, specifically for the Chinese market and the Hong Kong market. There was a hand raised. I don't know if you want to write or speak. I don't know who that was. Maybe that was by coincidence. But any additional questions? Yes, absolutely. So that means your platform is helping with the patents licensing process. Absolutely. So the way we are doing it currently is we are not focusing in on bilateral licenses, so licenses between two companies. Rather, we are opening patent portfolios to the greater industry. I wanted to say public already. So we're opening patent portfolios to the industry, and that way you are licensing in mass and batch licensing. We can also help with patents licensing in general, but outside of the smart pool product, if you are looking for bilateral licenses. We can write bilateral licenses to the blockchain, and we have smart contracts that replace your current license agreement, and that way, and that way we make it more efficient. So you have one standard license agreement, and you can just deploy it on the blockchain and license it over and over and over again, and therefore reach a bigger audience of potential licensees. Okay, I don't see any more questions. Maybe a couple of remarks with regards to insurance to protect patents. Insurance for patents is critical because patent register records are not always complete. So title insurance is something that's very important, that's going to become very important even with NFT and blockchain technology. The chain of custody and proof of provenance is something that we are solving. We are approximating solutions to this, but there's always risk that's left. And if you want to protect your company against that risk, we will be offering a stack of solutions soon that will help you with that. I'm just checking, are there any additional questions that I might address here? Then I will just take the opportunity to point to our smart pool incubator. So what we will see on our website on IPwe.com, also available in Chinese, is we have an incubator where you can actually request smart pools to be launched in specific technology areas. What we're doing is we are testing out how much interest there is to deploy a smart pool in an emerging technology areas. We have a lot of campaigns that are currently running on our smart pool incubator program. And you can indicate that you would be willing to join such a smart pool as a member, making it more appealing for potential founders to join the smart pool if you already have an indication that a lot of companies would like to have a smart pool in that space. Or you can indicate that you would like to pledge patents to a specific smart pool as a founder. And that way, we can see whether there is interest in members getting access to this technology. And this way, we are working out mutual demand for a smart pool to be launched in a specific space. And we have one project going that is not very relevant to CyberPort members, I assume. It's in the silicon photonics space, where we actually have a lot of discussions going on behind the scenes about the launch and the request of a smart pool. So if you think about any technology area that's emerging that you would like to see a smart pool being founded in, please feel free to send us your recommendation through the form on our website. Okay, I don't see any further questions. I don't know if we want to maybe then shorten the webinar or thank you. There's another question. Will there be a smart pool for AI soon? Yes and no. So that depends a bit, because yes, AI is an emerging technology. It's very hard to patent AI in some countries. We are thinking about launching a pool, but having a smart pool on AI technology can be very broad. So we would like to, if we do an AI-based smart pool, we would like to limit it a bit by use case. So potentially, for example, AI applications in the financial industry would be something, or AI in logistics, or fundamental, speaking about like different verticals, or AI in specific use cases. So for quantification of any kind, for predictions in any kind of direction. So we are thinking about this. If you have a use case in mind where we should launch a smart pool on AI, we would love to hear your thoughts. Basically, just starting an AI smart pool would also be feasible, like we did with the blockchain smart pool. In the blockchain space, you also have a lot of different verticals, but the fundamental technology is basically aligned. So starting a smart pool for AI is in discussions, but we have to figure out how we would be doing it specifically. So maybe just send me an email and we can take this further, how we can make this the most appealing. There's definitely interest, and there's definitely interest from members and from founders in this direction. There's one question whether we have presence in the Greater Bay region. Yes. So we see that Hong Kong is an important hub for IP. That is why we are there at the place. So we have an office in Hong Kong, just as we have offices in many more countries across the globe. And feel free to directly connect with our Hong Kong office. Okay. I think we have received a lot of questions. Thank you very much for participating. I would love to see you on board to our smart pools. I would love to see you open up your portfolios to other disruptive companies in emerging technology areas. And I would love to see you join as members and participate actively and help us drive the product forward and disrupt the market. If you have any feedback as regards the product, as a product manager, I'm always looking forward to it. We are listening to you, and we would like to make our product as appealing as possible to the demand that companies in the Greater Bay Area have. So any feedback on our value proposition, any requests for changes, I'm listening, and I would love to engage in a discussion with you. I think we should conclude the webinar here. And I thank you very much for your participation, and I wish you a great rest of your week.